Hey guys, welcome back to Cup of Java, episode, what's this, episode 7, let's get rid of that, and we're actually starting to get into the fundamentals of game design, so that's where we're heading. We already did the basics, like uh, variables, methods, some syntax, various loops and conditionals, and interface and inheritance, which I don't quite get. Um, and we did threading as well, but they didn't go into much detail. So let's just continue where we left off. In Couple Java 2, we were supposed to create a package. Now let's see how to do that. Um, inside of create a package. So how do you create a package? New reserve something, there we go, package, and we call it game. Why not? Simple. And inside game we create a Java project or a class. Well, we create a class and we call it starting class. Alright, starting class, package game. Alright, so we're in the same vein, the same area. Adding methods and extending applet. By this time, I trust that you are all experienced Java programmers capable of discerning which brace corresponds to which. I guess add extends applet after a starting class. Recall that we can borrow methods from a superclass by inheriting it. Okay. You'll see a red line under applet. Import applet by pressing Ctrl+Shift-O. You can add the following methods in it: start, stop, destroy. These are part of the applet superclass, and by importing applet you gain the ability to use them. Alright, an easy way to add a predefined method is to use the autocomplete function. Begin typing in it, then press Control space. So we do it inside here. Oh, would you behave? So ININNT, and then we'll use Control space. Oh, there we go. Okay, that kind of works. Gives you a couple choices. So what does the add override mean? To also organize your code. Let's see. Control Shift F. I don't think it needs organizing. Alright, so let's do what's here. So init, he said init start, stop, destroy. So start, str control start, and stop, stopo, and then destroy. Alright, so Control Shift F, and kind of clean it up a little bit, I guess. Alright, so we have, oh, okay, so Control Shift O, right? Or is it Control O? No, Control Shift O. Why isn't it not importing? It's not importing, oops, start, stop, what the hell, and destroy. Alright, did I mess up? I think I messed up. So it's INIT, you press Control Shift, and it gives you doesn't give me anything. Alright, let's just copy paste and not super.init. Now you can do Control Shift O and that will import it, right? So is super like super class? DSTRY. Alright, so press Control Shift O. Why am I not getting Control Shift O and you'll manually include them, right? Why isn't it not working? Why is it not working? Is undefined for you. Type. I don't know why it's not importing it. Well, no worries. We can always import it ourselves. Okay, the add override test for errors upon compilation. In this case, we are using it to annotate that we are overriding methods from a parent class. It informs you when you make mistakes. Okay, so no clue what it does, but description, but no clue what it does. How does it inform us when we make mistakes? Is it gonna throw like an error code or something in the command line, or is it on runtime, or what? I don't know. Each method you see a super. This super is referring to super class, and that's applet. Start. I don't know what's going on there. How can you make a program keep running? How do you repeat statements? Use a while loop, or use a loop for a while loop. What tool do we use for simultaneous processes in Java? You create a thread object. What is a game loop? That's the main loop for which all the the other parts are connected, maybe. We utilize a loop, a thread. A game loop is a central component of a game. People refer to it as a heartbeat of the game. Okay, so that was off. But what's with all this final code here? In it, change the weight. Alright, let me import this thing and see that cause the errors. Import java.applet .applet. Doesn't really stop the errors. The method destroys undefined for, I don't know why is it, whatever. While player is alive, update position, draw character at current location, apply gravity. Figure 2.3 incorporates 3 pseudo methods. Yeah. Alright, basic framework. Alright. So that's we're gonna create it. Oh, we're gonna create a thread for what? For each of these, or I don't know. Whatever. Let's do this. So we're creating a thread object. We're calling it thread, and we're assigning it a new thread. Thread, new thread. And thread dot. This is how you start the thread. It's very self-evident. Alright. Simple, right? The first line creates a new instance of a thread object called thread. The second line starts the thread. So we already knew that, right? Example of a thread or public void run. So this is a method, and it's doing a bunch of stuff, and it's gonna print hello 5 times, right? I is equal to 0, and if it's less than 10, and you add, and you're adding 2, incrementing by 2 every loop. So it's gonna print this out 5 times. The thread requires a run method that determines what will happen in that thread. We never declared a run method. There's a reason for this. We will be extracting the number. We will be extracting the run method from the thread and creating a separate method in the class by doing the following. Implement a runnable interface by adding implements runnable to the class declaration. Starting class extends applet implements runnable. What does that mean? So syntax error Applet. Why is that a syntax error? Applet extends. You create a run method in the class by typing out run and then pressing control space. Alright, so do it up top here. Run, control space. And we're choosing runnable, java.lang, or just run void. What are we doing? Run void. When you try to create a run method, it will give you the following. Alright. This too is okay. So the bridge or connect this so to bridge or connect this newly created run method that that's right created above. Go back to the statement in the start method. Alright, then add this. You thread dot this. Wow. What does this mean? We will talk more about this in the future. Okay, we'll figure it out later, I guess. It is quite a flexible keyword, and therefore I think it's best if we talk about it from another perspective with more understanding. So I'm getting a bunch of syntax errors. Applet extends applet implements runnable. Why? Alright, control shift O. Alright, so but why are these cannot reduce the visibility of inherited method from applets? What does that mean? No clue. Creating the infinite game loop. In this lesson we'll be creating, I don't know what any of this does. It's not going into it. I mentioned in day one that game loop is the heartbeat of the game, and it constantly checks for changes and make updates to the game accordingly. More sophisticated game loops will be used in our later games, but for our purposes, all our game loop. Okay, blah blah blah. Update characters, update the environment, repaint the scene. Sleep for 70. Why 70 milliseconds? I'll tell you why. I'm sure you know that when you go to YouTube and watch epic rap battles or something, you're seeing a sequence of still images as fast. 30 frames per second. About 30 frames, we're able to see smooth movement in games and move to 60 FPS is what most people consider ideal. Sleeping for 17 milliseconds. Oh. Time's up. I guess we'll continue this tomorrow, guys. A little bit confused about what we're doing. He doesn't seem to be going too deep into what all this means. I guess we're gonna understand it when it runs, and then we can like kind of analyze it and like quote unquote reverse engineer it. Um, so yeah, see you guys on the next episode.